Hey, what's up, YouTuber? It's me again. And yeah, today we're gonna talk about something fucking awesome. So fucking brutal, it's gonna boom. You guys are gonna be like, what? Wow. And that is none other than something I've been waiting for such a long time, ever since 2 years, 2016. And it finally is released on DVD. And that is none other than the Death by Metal documentary. And yes, the documentary finally came out on DVD only, not Blu-ray, DVD. And I gotta say, this DVD was fucking awesome. I loved Death by Metal. This had so much to talk about, like when it talks about Chuck, his other bands he was in before Death, the creation of Death, and the whole history of the band Death. And I gotta say, I fucking loved this documentary. It says in the back here, Death's burning speed and forcity was only matched by Chuck's unbending determination to bass out the most boundary-crushing inspiration of death metal. Exclusive interviews tell the first time on film the story of Chuck Schuldiner and his legacy through the music of Death and his other band, Control Denied. And yeah, here's the back. Sorry, I'm gonna give you that better. Here's the front. And yeah. And here's the side. But yeah, this documentary runs closely to like 2 hours. It really just it makes you want to listen to Death so much more than ever when you watch this documentary. Like in the beginning, it like showed like all the albums that Death had, like The Sound of Perseverance, Symbolic, Human, Spiritual Healing, Scream Bloody Gore. Like wow. Individual thought patterns, everything. It is fucking amazing. Like, I waited 2 years for this documentary to be released on DVD ever since I heard that they were making a documentary on Death. And when they finally did, I was like, oh my god. Like, I was like, oh my god, yes. Finally, fuck yeah. I've been wanting a Death documentary so badly. Hell, I owned the Cannibal Corpse documentary, but I gotta say, the Cannibal Corpse documentary was a lot better than this one. I'm sorry, it was. The Cannibal Corpse documentary had a lot more oomph into it. This one had oomph, but not as much as the Death Metal I'm sorry. What am I saying? Not as much as the Cannibal Corpse one. Sorry, I'm just a little right now, as you guys can see. Anyway, yeah, like, this got, like, 4 nominations, like, Official Section Rock and Roll Film Festival, London, 2017 of last year. The Official Selection, Mustic Film Festival, Copenhagen, 2017. Official Selection, Orlando Film Festival, Orlando, 2017. Official Selection, Rockumentary Rock Film Festival, not last year, sorry, what am I saying? 2 years ago in 2016 in Josun. Yeah, it's amazing how it has Orlando, Florida, because basically Death was a Tampa, Florida death metal band. As you guys all know that. It's obvious. And yeah, I gotta say, like, the record company who did all Death records, the very, 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 very famous record, like, label in Tampa, Florida. Everyone knows that record label. It's Scott Burns, it's obvious. If you don't know Scott Burns, the one who produces Death's records, like, I don't know what's wrong. Come on. Morris Sound Recording. Like, how do you not know Morris Sound Recording and Scott Burns? Like, come on. Like, Scott Burns and Morris Sound Recording is why Death sounds so perfectly great and awesome, and why they became so good. And it's because Death is such a powerful and talented band. Rip Chuck Schuldiner. Like, I'm so sad that Chuck died back all the way in the beginning of the 21st century, in 2001. A minute for Chuck. Alright. I gotta say, yeah. It's such a shame, really. Really, it is such a shame that Chuck Schuldiner died. And this documentary shows so perfectly how, like, the whole legacy of death basically was. Like, back in the early 90s and what the influence was on death metal itself. Because everyone knows that Chuck Schuldiner is the official godfather of death metal. If it wasn't for Chuck and death metal would have never been such a thing. There would have been no such thing as death. There would have been no such thing as death metal. And there would have been no such thing as, like, the other genres that were inspired by just death metal. Like, for example, my absolute favorite genre, slam brutal death metal. Like, death metal would have never existed if Chuck, like, you know, never started death or decided to create the genre himself. So, yeah. And, like, my favorite drummer of all time, Gene Hoglan, is in this documentary. When I saw him in this documentary, I was like, yeah, fuck yeah, Gene, fuck yeah. Gene Hoglan is the #1 best drummer in the world, hands down. And Paul Mazurkiewicz from Cannibal Corpse, he's #2. All the other drummers, well, they're okay, but I find those two to be the #1 best. Like, really. Gene Hoglan and Paul Mazurkiewicz, the 2 best drummers in the entire world. Hands down. 100% fact and truth, guys. That's why I love them a lot. But anyway, back to the documentary. Yeah, like, I gotta say, like, I'm so glad that this actually came out. And actually, I found out right here that it says that the documentary runs about 108 minutes. So, yeah. I didn't see that little thing right over there, to be honest. And now I just did. What do you know? But yeah. Like, I really hope you guys go out and buy this DVD. Like, I really, really hope you do. I give this DVD a official 9 out of 10. Because, well, it's not as good as the Cannibal Corpse documentary, but it's a phenomenal documentary to fucking watch, and it's really good, like, absolutely phenomenal. I can see why they said you guys are in for a treat. This was worth waiting 2 years for this to come on DVD. It was so worth it. So worth it. And, like, when I bought this DVD, like, after I watched it, I was like, oh, I gotta listen to some Death. So basically, yeah, I was listening to Death on YouTube, and I was like, yeah, this is the shit. So overall, like, yeah, you really should buy this documentary. It's only $20 on Amazon. It's a great documentary. You have to watch it. You're not a metalhead until you've seen this documentary or listen to Death, or even know what Death is. But yeah, I'm just telling you that right now. Like, Death is such a huge influence in my life, and Death is such a great band to so many people. Like, it's such a shame that they don't tour anymore. They don't make any new albums. It's such a shame, you know? That's why I'm glad this documentary really, 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 like, shows more about how Death impacted the death metal scene in Florida, the world, and metal itself. So yeah, guys, also, by the way, the name of the documentary, Death My Metal, is actually the first ever demo that Chuck ever made from the band Death. That's why they used Chuck's first demo for Death as the title for this movie. And that's a fact. I know. So overall, guys, I'm going to end the video right here. I hope you enjoyed my review on Death by Metal, the documentary. So overall, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I really am glad that I saw this documentary. Please pick it up. It's only $19.95 on Amazon. It's not much money. Please watch it. Please watch it. Because like I said before, you're not a metalhead until you watch this documentary. Or if you ever listen to Death or know what Death is. Because this is one of the best, like, bands in the world. And this is one of the best documentaries ever. So overall, guys, hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you enjoyed my review on the Death by Metal documentary. I give it a 9 out of 10. Not as good as the Cannibal Corpse one, but, you know, it's still a fucking awesome documentary. So overall, guys, keep it metal, keep it brutal, keep it awesome. Hope to see you guys all soon in my next video. Have a fantastic, great rest of your day. See you all soon in my next video. Have a fantastic great rest of your day. And overall, keep it metal. And see you guys all soon in my next video. Goodbye, and see you guys all soon. Bye. Bye-bye.